Well, YouTube, I'm back. With a vengeance. I owe you guys an explanation. On Wednesday, Charlie texted me, asked me to work on his bike. I asked him if he had a title for the pickup, the blue and silver Ford, the '89 that I was driving. He told me no, and so I told him, well, sorry, I can't help you then. Won't work on your bike until I got a title for that pickup. Sends me a text saying that I'd made my bed and I could sleep in it, and I never thought nothing of it until I got out to the parking lot after work. Looked around, my pickup wasn't there. I was obviously and probably understandably pretty screaming pissed. I was very, very upset when I figured what had happened. Called Charlie and he told me that it was none of my business where that pickup was. Mind you, that pickup had a lot of my personal things in it, belongings. I'd just put the subs and such in it, CD player, all of my CDs, my cell phone charger, which was dead, and a bunch of tools that I use for when I work in town. So we go round and round about this, found the pickup, or where he had it anyways, and went up to see if I couldn't retrieve my stuff. Roman came into town to get me, and we drove up there to his girlfriend's house, Alicia Nelson. So went up there, knocked on the door, no answer. Went to drive away, he calls, says that I'm not getting my stuff back, I'm screwed, nothing I can do. And like I say, this happy horseplay went around for a while and yada yada. Anyways, I ended up back up at the place. He wouldn't come out of the house, decided he wasn't going to call the cops, wasn't going to come out of the house, and I should just go away, and he'd get my stuff to me when he got it. So I wasn't obviously going to accept that, and so I sat there and waited, and then he said he'd get the stuff, and then I could get it from him. But he wasn't going to let me in. He wasn't going to let me see him get the stuff out, which once again wasn't going to work for me because I didn't want him tearing up my stuff and trying to break things and, just add an insult to injury. All I wanted back at that point was my tools and my video camera, which was in the pickup, and some things like that. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'm sitting there waiting. Lo and behold, his dad shows up. Charlie, at 23 years old, had called his daddy. And, really pissed me off. If a man can't own up to what he did, in my opinion, if Charlie didn't think he did anything wrong, then why was he so scared? What did he have to fear if he wasn't in the wrong? And besides, all I wanted back at that point was my personal belongings out of the pickup, and I was willing to just deal with it later or just walk away, one of the two. So his dad came up and screamed and hollered at me for a minute, and Roman stayed there and just kind of tried to mellow the situation. Anyways, come down to it, his dad says, well, I'll get your stuff to you by the end of the week. I said, that's not good enough. I said, I want it now. Well, he said, I had to take off work to come deal with this. Which, what are you doing taking off work to take care of your 23-year-old son's business? Maybe you should have raised your son with a sack and something in it, or at the very least a spine, neither of which Charlie or his dad have. So anyways, we squabbled about that, and finally I decided it was best if I just walk away. Had to go into town the next day. I took a day off of work. Had some work to do in town for a guy. During the course of the day, I stopped. I talked to the sheriff, and then I went and talked to the judge. After I'd talked to those guys, stopped by a lawyer's office, as far as I'm concerned, the second best lawyer in town. just because of a money standpoint. I slapped the money down on the desk and I said, "This is what I want." He said, "Well," he said, "we'll get it for you. No problems." You know, pretty substantial amount of money I gave him. He said, "But if you can get it done out of court, that's best." Obviously, understandably, I'd have had thousands into it. The guy charges $350 an hour. $350 an hour. So, I happened to bump into a guy a little short of cash that does some things from time to time, you know. Showed him a $100 bill and I said, "Hey, here's the story. This is what I need you to do." I said, "And this $100 is yours." He was hard up for cash, and so he took it. Went over there, and in the end, I come out all right. Got all of my stuff back, and instead of getting my rear end back out of that pickup, I got one better. I got the red and black truck. The one that has a new transfer case, a rebuilt transmission, and a fresh Wainwick rebuild motor. Plus it's in better shape than that other pickup was too. Aside from all that, this pickup's only got 89,000 miles on it. The other pickup had 228,000. Well, needless to say, I told him I wanted a title before anything was done. So he went down. About 30 minutes later, he produces a title. So, got the title for this pickup, and it's a done deal. After that's all said and done, I never had to talk to Charlie during any of this. And after that was all said and done, his dad stops by where I was working, at my place where I was doing work, you know. You don't stop by a guy's job to harass him, as far as I'm concerned. You just don't do it. It's not right. Tells me that he wants some kind of a signed receipt, some kind of a, you know, notarized piece of paper that says that this deal's all done. Pissed me right the hell off. I said, "You know what, David?" His name is David Loomer. I said, "You know what, David?" I said, "After all I've done for your boy, after all I've put up with," said, "No, this is as done as you want it to be, and as far as I'm concerned, you can go fucking piss up a pole." And he kind of grumbled something, walked away, and never heard another word from him. Not too long afterwards, Charlie come by, all apologetic, all sad, and, "Oh, it wasn't his fault, wasn't his idea." Bullshit. You know what? He was as involved in it as the next guy. And he's been taking advantage of me from the beginning, and the only reason I've been playing nice is because I wanted a title to that pickup. So, you know, I guess if I had to say I learned something from this, you know, I don't know so much learning anything as it is just really takes my trust level down. I used to be a real trusting guy, you know, give anybody anything and just take payment when they had it, you know, or accept whatever. I like helping people out, and it's a shame that something like this will come along and ruin it for the next guy that needs my help. But, you know, that's the way it is. It's a harsh world, and you just got to be cold, I guess. You know, it's really too bad there's people out there like that that'll just take advantage of you. I mean, you've all seen my videos. You know what I've done for Charlie, or at least you know about half of what I've done for Charlie. The rest of it was just being nice. After I got that blue and silver pickup, all it was just me trying to play nice so I could get the title for the pickup and be done with it all. And that he would do that just because I wouldn't work on his bike is just despicable, wrong, you know, just indecent. Can't believe a guy would be like that. I just can't believe it. You know, that there's people that'll do something like that, knowing what they owe and not taking responsibility for it, knowing what they've done and not taking responsibility for it.